What's going on? This is XQZ, 14-time No Coast champion, coming to you from a rainy Saturday here in Columbia, and I thought I would take the time to recognize some of my favorite No Coast battles in honor of our channel, NoCoastRaps.com, finally reaching 1 million views. We've been doing this since '09. It's pretty cool that we've been able to get this far. So you've seen Kelly Betts and DJ Pompey's have done theirs. I think there's a few more from some other people involved in No Coast. But so here are some of my favorite battles. Let's get to it. Madness versus Mudslinger. I'm kind of surprised neither of the first two guys talked about this one, because this would be what I would consider our first big battle. In my opinion, No Coast was like the first. You know how there's like 1 million random small market leagues that pop up every day now, and I'd like to think we were one of, like, it was grind time. It was the main leagues and then us. You know what I mean? Like, we were one of the first small leagues who just tried to do this shit in their local hometown. So we were doing that for a while, and what happened was we had Mudslinger versus Goon. At the time, I mean, honestly, I think besides Young Gaddis, I don't think there was another female battler who was really had a pretty was pretty known and established. And Mudslinger kind of, I think, surprised a lot of people, caught a lot of people's attention, because she was kind of the only female battler who was using that real the comedy, the more, I don't know, grind time, king of the dot style, as opposed to the more, aggressive style that like Gaddis and most of the female battlers had. So I think people like that.
How the fuck am I gonna lose to Goon? After what I do to you, you won't be able to chew your food. Have to eat liquids and only use a spoon. I just ruined you. This dude is through. A little birdie named Pete told me your booty's loose. You and your Jeezy trade blowjobs and talk about mohawks. Dress like punks but start sentences with yo dog. What a fucking joke. You cut your hair like that to try and be in the scene, but that shit was played out way back with Mr. T.
And she had a battle with this guy Goon.
Hey, hold his down back there.
For whatever reason, I mean, it wasn't an amazing battle. It was entertaining, but for whatever reason, that battle got a lot of attention on the battle forums, and just kind of around the battle scene outside of Columbia, which hadn't really happened yet with us. So a lot of the big name battlers who we were all fans of started showing interest in coming out here, and Madness was kind of one of the first people in that conversation. So we booked it, and it did not disappoint. The main thing I remember from this battle is I have some extremely embarrassing facial expressions and reactions to Madness's bars.
Because having the washboard chest of an 11-year-old boy doesn't make my dick hard. Hey, yo, she bought a Wonder Bra, y'all, and it still wonders where the fuck your tits are.
I definitely went a little fanboy mode there, I'm not gonna lie. Madness was one of the first battlers I really even watched. I mean, I got into battle rap in that kind of 04, 05 wave with Jin on 106 in Park, Scribble Jam, Jump Off, all that stuff that everyone else got into battle rap with. And with that, Madness vs. Iron Solomon was actually one of the first battles that I really was a fan of. So it was cool for me to see him out here. So it's kind of funny, though, because I think the girl next to me, the one who had the really horrified face.
And I'm O.J. Simpson. Oh. By the way, your tits called. No, you didn't.
I think she kind of took. I think if she wasn't there, all the comments would be making fun of me. But luckily, she kind of took the attention away, and so most of the YouTube comments were making fun of her instead of my spastic drunk crowd reactions. But they were for good reason. I mean, Madness, he delivered exactly what we were hoping. It's like, if we're gonna get someone to come battle a girl, who would be better to do that? He had his second round, I think, might have been the most I've laughed at a battle I've been watching in person. He had the your tits call, no they didn't line, and I still laugh when I see that shit. I mean, Madness was just so. We had some pretty big battlers come out before, but like this was someone who was just always, he had traveled and battled everywhere, and he knew exactly what he was doing, and even though no one in our crowd really follows battle rap like outside of Colombia, but it didn't matter. I mean, he won that crowd over instantly.
Hey, since it's the Valentine's Day Massacre, I figured I'd make you a Valentine's Day card. Tell your push-up bra it needs to do about 1,000 more push-ups. I love you.
Mudslinger had some pretty funny lines.
Just like your pants, you're getting ripped.
Damn.
If you were to go on a swimming trip, one cannonball would quickly switch the pool into an empty ditch. It's impossible for you to skinny dip.
You still hear a lot of the old no coast lines in I've heard quite a few in battles today, like beat the shit out of this copy machine, like Office Space. Heard that a few times, but that is what it is. But yeah, Madness vs. Mudslinger, love that whole event. Go back and watch it if you haven't. It got voted #1 for the week. It was like the #1 video on the Tosh.0 website. It got our YouTube channel in like the top 50 most discussed or something. Like that was around, I think that was besides maybe the T-Rex battle, that was like the most buzz we've had at any point. So yeah, definitely always look back on that event and and have a good sentiment about it. I mean, great show all around. Now this is going to be one that I don't know if would be on the top of everyone else's list, but I love this battle. It was Unorthodox Phrases versus Clutch.
Representing Orlando, Florida, Unorthodox Phrases. Y'all make some fucking go. From Denver, Colorado, to the left, my man Clutch. Give it up.
If you went back and watched it today, it probably wouldn't seem like some battles are kind of timeless. If you watch this one today, it probably wouldn't seem all that amazing. I mean, just it was a lot of bars that were good for when it happened, which was I think 2010. But it was kind of a really unexpected gem to close out a really cool event, because it was No Coast versus the world. So how the timeline went for us was we had a bunch of events where it was all local rappers, or no one from outside of the state of Missouri. That was like our first 5 or 6 events, and we slowly started having battle rappers from out of town show interest and come out. That's when guys like Unorthodox Phrases and Cadillac Ron and Rye Bread, Hindu Rock, those guys started coming out. But then it was September 2010, No Coast versus the World at Stankowski Field, where the infamous Cadillac Ron versus Unorthodox Phrases happened. We had battlers from I think like over like 12 or 13 different states. I mean, it was so unexpected, and I mean, I looked at the lineup for that, and it's just crazy to think that we had all those people. Of course, our boy Heaves from Alaska. We had people from Chicago, Florida, Cali, Texas, Kansas. I think we had Colorado guys. So we had people from all over. So Phrases versus Clutch. Basically, what this was is Phrases offered to do a day 2 battle. Cadillac Ron was his main battle, but he was also willing to take a guy who was kind of a no-name at the time, which was Clutch from Colorado. So we didn't expect a ton from this battle. We didn't think it'd be both of them going hard the way they did. It was on day 2. It wasn't a huge crowd like it was on day 1. It wasn't one of the highly anticipated battles, but they just both came out of the gate. Again, and this is the thing, if you go back and watch it, like Phrases bars probably aren't gonna, knock you out of your seat and give you the scrunch face, but he's just, man. And I'd watched all his battles before, in grind time before he came out to No Coast, and his theatrics in real life, it's like the video footage doesn't do it justice. I mean, this dude is like, he's huge, and he is just jumping around the circle. He's using all the space of the fucking venue.
You must be kidding. In my professional opinion, if really nothing else works, you try fucking quitting. Kick him there. Kick him here. Basically have my foot all over the clutch like I'm switching gears.
I remember he ended some round where he was like, he was on some scheme that was like, he said Clutch raps like a detective trying to solve a case.
You really have an awful face. It's awesome for toxic waste. And when Clutch raps, he sounds like the detective trying to solve a case.
He like rhymed it with a bunch of stuff like fall away, and then he just randomly just goes, Dr. J. And we're like, this dude is fucking crazy.
Phrases is crazy.
And Clutch, I remember his second round was the first time, like, this was the first, we had a lot of, like, some great performances up to that point, but this was the first time that both sides were just, like, going back and forth, like, both had aggression, both had the crowd, you know, just snapping every other line. Like, it was really the most, I think, just most crowd reaction I've seen and had seen in one battle up to that point. Clutch had that huge DNA line that to this day is, I mean, I think a lot of people have used versions of that since then, but at the time I was like, how did I not think of that?
That's right, Phrases is quite the teacher. He took poor little Benjamin behind the bleachers and played hide the finger inside the sphincter. Dude ain't prejudiced against vaginas either. He gives the little girls animal crackers to help them find their beaver. And you know that little Asian girl that was his teacher's aide? Ain't it weird how she somehow contracted the teacher's AIDS? And in his class, every one of his students swallow his DNA. Tell me, Phrases, is that the difference between a D and A?
And then, of course, Phrases had the line of the battle about Mariah, saying she looks smoking hot in polka dots. He just randomly decided to throw that in the middle of his verse. Like, he did not care.
You think you're flowing hot? No, you're not. Fuck you for a second. Mariah, you look smoking hot.
He'd go back and forth freestyling and writtens. He did this during the Phrases battle too, or during the Cadillac Ron battle too. He would just stop in the middle of his verse and talk to the crowd for a minute and be like, all right, don't react to this line I'm about to say it, but the punchline is the line after. Like, he was like the original Uno Lavos, you know, like that's not the punchline. So he was just a performer. It was fun having him out here. I'd like to see him battle again. You know, you want to see something different in battle rap now. A lot of people doing the same shit, and I think you'd be kind of a breath of fresh air. But yeah, go back and watch Phrases vs. Clutch. At least watch how the energy just kind of kept going back and forth in that room. It was really fun to see, and that's kind of some vintage no-co shit right there. And time to talk about one of my battles, and I'm a little disappointed because DJ Pompey always tells me this is like his favorite battle, and he didn't talk about it in his video. So I'm a little pissed off at Ray. But this is XQZ versus Wise Guy. He did talk about me and Deadbeat, though, but I don't like that battle as much. But yeah, me versus Wise Guy. Around the same time that the Mudslinger versus Goon battle started getting popular, we had... my mom's calling. I'll finish this blog first. One of the Grind Time rappers who was tweeting about No Coast and seemed to be a fan of us was Wise Guy. And if I'm not mistaken, I think this was around the same time that Soul Khan retired from battling. So I randomly hit him up and I was like, look, this hasn't been done. This could be super funny. You want to come out here and do a Jew versus Jew battle?
As far as I know, this is the first ever Jew on Jew.
It was like every other similar battle has come up, I'm sure, like the Dumbfounded versus Tantrum. It's like, all right, every opponent I've ever faced has mainly used Jew jokes, and same with him. So why don't we get in the ring and show him how it's done? So we had him come out. And I wasn't really sure what to expect because I think at the time he hadn't battled in a few years, and my last battle was I had a couple of battles canceled before that, so we both were kind of rusty, not sure what to expect, and he went first. And I'll never forget. I had a lot of friends there. This was the first time I've ever been like listening to what my opponent's saying and being like, man, I need this fucking round to be over, because he was killing me. The crowd was like just loving it. That's the first time I've ever kind of felt embarrassed in a battle. Like, his first round was just so fucking perfect. Everything he's saying was hitting. He was kind of styling out, and I knew this was also the first time I tried writing short notice, or writing shortly before the battle. I wrote my first round the day of, and he went first, or did I go first? Either way, I knew that his first round was a million times better than my first round. My other rounds I knew were a lot better, but I'm like, wow, I have not been bodied yet. I might get bodied today.
I make this shit look effortless, and if the crowd don't mess with this, we're in Mizzou. There is no Jews. They might not get the references.
Got it.
Alright, let the games begin. I know you play to win. Picture Steve huddled up with all his crazy friends. Everybody yelling as they wave their hands with $3 in the pot as the dreidel spin. Yo, you're such a high roller. We were supposed to bet, but instead your pockets went bipolar. The fuck a couple bucks ain't nothing to cry over. You're only in a frat so you can have guys over. Look, bro, I don't know if your rabbi told you, but having you a sausage fest is not kosher.
I had the Nestle shit and the tweet and the whole the Anne Frank was in Cafe Berlin. I'm not gonna lie, I love that fucking scheme. I don't care what Tantrum said.
So I contacted the most savage cat in the Atlanta division and asked his opinion. And Nestle was like, I said his chest is flat as a dang screen on a Plasman HD. Hold on. Had him a plate of a sandwich and baked beans. He ain't had him a hamburger without yakking it back up since 18. Bet you a stack if he stepped on the scale, the actual weight reads no more than 140 like a maximum length tweet. Valentine's Day Massacre name means we'll have managers the man-eater recapping a rape scene. Last week on campus, Saturday late evening, I was feeling like I was about to crash because I ain't eat. Hit a Wise Guy's pizza when I got hammered and blazed trees, so when I put Wise Guy in a box, it's exactly the same thing.
I went a little multi-heavy, a little crazy. I thought that's what you needed to do to win at the time, but I think I took that round, and then after 2 rounds, we were both having so much fun with this shit. Like, I think we just felt super loose in that 3rd round, and just, we're just having fun. Like, that was definitely the most fun I've had in a battle. It's not my favorite performance that I've had, but it's definitely still by far the best shit anyone's said to me. Because he tied in not just the Jewish shit, but also like really specifically towards me. He had that football shit, which was hilarious.
You did play football, Barch City Jews. Yeah. But you quit to go battle. Yo, asshole, what position you play? Nose tackle? With a redneck quarterback calling out the plays like Jew 42. Hike.
My favorite part of that is just looking in the crowd at the reactions, because I'd like to think everyone really enjoyed that one, and there are some things said that maybe nowadays I wouldn't say in a battle, but if you're gonna do a battle like that, you have to go all out with it.
I got some mad racist shit. I'll show up on Passover, shit on your fam Seder dish, and lamb shank your ribs. If I was surgeon, I would have never let this fag take the win. Said you back him down, you couldn't jab straight. This cat's paper thin. Since September, I've had traps laid at Cafe Berlin. I will have phrases, frat haze, and gas chamber him. Since you won't need his ticket, I fly back straight to your wax safe for dem, castrate your friend, and lock you in the exact same black basement Anne Frank was in. Let's go.
I'd consider that a no-coast classic. I don't know about y'all, but I hope you enjoyed that one for sure. Just because I don't want to be rambling for an hour, here's a couple more performances you should watch. Air Jordan versus Everybody Knows. Side note, Jordan is my dude, but EK might have had my favorite performance ever in No Coast in that battle. He's in my opinion, the most underrated battle rapper there is. I mean, his pen game is just like, he knows how to be such an asshole, but so subtle about it that his opponent doesn't even realize it sometimes. I mean, so I loved having him out here. I'd love to have him back out here. EK, holler at me.
Y'all really feeling him? Y'all like EKG? Y'all think he balled from here to Boston? Y'all think EKG? Y'all think he's street and clap nines? Y'all think EKG? Till you see that flat line on his EKG?
Isaac would want to put your kids up on YouTube, and I would leave comments like, fuck that shit, they bit Honey Boo Boo. And I know what Fresco is tripping about. My church was great. Petty money issues, but nobody was hurt or raped. But if you want to rap and be worth your faith, your style can't be a front that you're presenting to preserve your faith. You belong to a subculture that's obscure and quaint. I give a fuck if Sonny Bamboo jerks it to your shit till he burns his taint. We're in a college town, for all purpose sake. Someone give me a poli-sci major, teach Jordan the separation between church and state.
T-Rex vs. G-Soldier, obviously, thanks for all the views and for a classic T-Rex performance.
Mook want 25K to kill a nigga that's ill. For 25K, I kill a nigga for real. Walk up on him, point blank range in his grill. This nigga mama will cry before my son miss a meal. Tell G that my soldier's en route. We can't find him in his crib, then we'll go to his house. Nigga, you know what I'm about. Once them 40s come out, them 10-4s, I have his brains hanging over and out. He don't want no drama. He just extra aggressive cause y'all hold him back. Well, I clap him, have it where y'all gotta hold his hat over his head cause his eyes keep rolling back. Something about a nigga dying just make me so relaxed. I'm aiming slugs at this nigga head. Y'all already know my slogan, this nigga dead.
Deadbeat vs. Dr. Ujeezy. That's some classic no-coast shit right there.
They got themselves a gang symbol. This is real dope. Wait a minute, that's just a paper football field goals. He hangs out with third grade girls. Your mom thinks that you're just playing, but he's a pimp and they're his hoes. Do you know what I am saying?
How about you go ahead and read hip-hop for starters, and make up for whatever you did to piss off your barber. And I have to use jokes and abandon spitting raw, because you have so many flaws, and only have 3 rounds to hit them all. You and Stony J like to put on your favorite record and bathe together. He said you need to learn to take it better. At least you're getting AIDS for effort.
DJ Pompey versus... what's his... versus Al Hindi.
Your favorite bar in Como is a bar named Soko. And all of my bars could kill an army solo. I bet upon your arm is a fucking Swazi logo. Bitch, I'd rather be Jafar than fucking Quasimodo.
At best, you're not a backpack rapper, you're like a hip pocket rhymer. That's why it's clear the disc jockey's tighter. You couldn't even hold on a job at Shakespeare's a rickshaw driver? Fuck it, I'm gonna put shit together like I ripped off MacGyver, spit hot saliva till you get kicked off the island here on Hip Hop Survivor.
I love the ones with like 2 no-coast originals in it, because those always end up being like super awkward but also hilarious at the same time. Like my first battle versus Deadbeat, like, it's so terrible, but it's like, you might, I don't know what it's like, what an outside fan would think of something like that, but probably it would look pretty bad. But awesome at the same time, as Pro Team from OTBVA proved with that, the absolute best of no coast. So I don't know, peruse our channel. There's some gems in there. Watch the rest of the blog series. NoCoastComo.com is the new No Coast blog. We'll be posting local music, local battles, all the Como hip hop information you could possibly need, I guess. So NoCoastComo.com, No Coast Raps for the videos. Add me on Twitter. I'll just have it say it like right here. And yeah, keep an eye out. Big things coming in 2015.